Hey there, lovely people, and welcome to Messages from the Heart, where we can take some time out from the constant external noise and just take a moment to focus inward and listen to the quiet and ever-present voice of our heart. So the message for today is resilience, opportunity, fear, and self-care, and what those four things have to do with each other. So first of all, before I start, I would like to say that I hope that wherever you are in the world, that you are doing okay. I know there are lockdowns all over the world, and a few days ago here in South Australia, we are in level 4 lockdown restrictions. It was very quick, very sudden, a decision by our government, but I think an excellent one, definitely, to go fast and go hard and get on top of this. However, it's thrown a lot of us into a lot of chaos, and the schools closed. I know this is going on in the rest of the world as well, but with the schools closing and businesses closing and everything, it's very, very easy to get caught up in the stress, the fear, the panic of it all. And I'm just sending you a lot of love, everyone, all of us, a lot of love, and that's the reason for this message, actually, because whilst it is all of those things, and I know I have, like, both of my children have young children at home, so as well as having to stay home, they've got to do the homeschooling, do their work, and it can become, and working from home, so it can be very stressful. And as I said, it's very easy to get caught up in the stress of it, to do the normal re-jerk reaction and going into fear and panic. What's going to happen? How long is this going to go on for? And as well as we've got all the testing sites and the inoculation sites and all of that kind of stuff going on as well. So what if we looked at this time as a time of opportunity? Huge opportunity. We could take the other point of view and succumb to the stress and be fearful and all of that. And it is a normal re-jerk reaction for us to have. The important thing is that we don't stay, that we recognize where we are, we recognize how we're thinking and how we're feeling, that we don't stay in there too long, and that we look on this as huge opportunity, and a time to nurture our resilience, a time to understand what is fear actually doing, and then a time for great self-care, because it's so easy to forget ourselves while we're trying to cope with the everydayness of this, to forget ourselves and to stay in stress mode constantly. The reason this is not good at all, I don't like to use the word bad, but it is very bad for our immune system, because when we're in a fear, when we're in panic, we activate all the hormones of stress. And so, you know, we're in fight, flight, or freeze mode. This activates all the hormones of stress, and over a prolonged period of time, stress will deplete our immune system. And this is something that we need to, this is where the self-care comes in, that we need to take care of ourselves and our immune system. And it's also important that whatever we do, like in relation to fear, that whatever we do in these times, particularly in these first few days of deciding, and then we also have the decision of what are we going to put in, are we going to put certain things into our body thinking that that's going to keep us safe, or that I'm sure that it will keep us safe, or not. It's a personal thing with that. But whatever decision we make about what we're going to put into our body or not put into our body at this time or any time, is that whatever decision we make, we come at it from a self-care point of view and not a fear point of view, not a knee-jerk reaction and not a fear point of view. Because then we infuse our whole energy system with the hormones of stress, and with the energy of fear, which is a contracting energy, not a healthy energy. Sometimes it's necessary for short periods of time, but not over prolonged periods of time. So really important that whatever decision we make, that we come at it from a point of view of not fear, but self-care, and with the understanding that we only accept the good into our life, we reject all the bad, so to speak. Now that might sound a bit airy-fairy, but believe me, it's not, because whatever we think is an energy that goes into every cell in our body the moment we think it. And that energy is then an expanded energy or a contracted energy, so a healthy energy or a non-healthy energy. So every little bit helps in these times. So that was a really important message I wanted to say, that whatever decision we make about anything actually in our life, that we ask ourselves, what's my motivation for this decision? If it's fear, I'm not saying that we have to ignore the fear or stuff the fear down, but let's look at the fear. What actually are we afraid of? And how can we get through the fear? And a way to get through the fear, it's definitely not by ignoring it, but it's by allowing yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel the fear. Breathe into the fear. Ask that feeling. Notice where it is in your body that you're feeling it. Ask that feeling, what is it? Does it want you to know? What is it there to teach you? Is it there to teach you you can be afraid, or there are all these other options? Is it trying, whatever, is it teaching you to grow from this experience, to not succumb to a contracting energy? And sometimes, and pretty much often, almost always, we need an opposite situation, an opposite feeling to show us where we need to go as a person, as a soul, in our evolutionary growth. And whatever we decide, as long as we work through the fear and it's not coming from a fear perspective, and even if it is, it means that we're not ready to whatever it is that we need to do beyond that. But whatever we decide, notice if it feels true for you. Notice if you're doing something because it feels true for you, or because you think everybody's saying that you should, or if you don't, you're afraid of what might happen. Just notice if it's true for you, and whatever decision you make, it will be right for you. So another thing I wanted to say, it's very easy for people to say, okay, you need to be resilient, you need to take care of yourself, don't succumb to the fear, all of that kind of stuff. But how do we do that? How is it that we do that? It's good to know what to do, but we also need to know how. So one of the things, and I was very fortunate that on Monday I had my normal yoga class, and it was pretty much straight after that we went into lockdown, so we didn't know about that on the Monday morning. But it was a thing that I started my class off with, a very brief breathing technique. And you can use it just as a brief technique, and you can do it for as little as you like or for as long as you like, or you can use it as a prolonged meditation. It's just up to you, but it's very simple to do, and it's something that has been done for eons and eons and eons. So as we know, connecting to our breath immediately slows our mind, because the mind follows the breath. So this technique I'd like to share with you. I'll explain it to you first, then we'll go through it together. So it's about dropping our awareness into our heart. And really it's about having a coherent energy between the mind and the heart. Because what happens is that when we're in fear and panic and other kinds of contracting emotions, excuse me, so I'm going to just sit properly. I'm sitting on my feet at the moment. They're starting to go to sleep. Oh, there we go. Just a sec. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so yes, so this breathing technique and the coherence between the mind and the heart. So what actually happens is when we're in a fear in feelings of fear or stress or panic or anything like that, understanding that everything is a frequency. Like everything vibrates to a frequency. That's everything within us and outside of us. So let's just look at us. So all our organs are vibrating to a specific frequency. And what that means is that at the very minutest level, everything is moving. It's moving like that. So in all the universe, everything is moving and vibrating, and that's what creates a frequency. It's the rate of vibration, the rate of movement. So it could be 500 times per second, it could be 20 times per second. Whatever that is the frequency of that particular thing. So our brain is, when we're in a stress mode, our brain is vibrating to a certain frequency, generally quite fast. And the heart is vibrating to a different frequency. So normally our brain would be saying, oh my God, look what's happening. What are we going to do? We have to work out a way. How are we going to get past this? And the heart is generally saying very quietly, it's okay. Just be calm. The solution will come. It'll be okay. You can work this out, you know. But so what they're doing is they're in conflict with each other and they're not working together. So as a result of that, whatever we do and whatever we feel is going to be erratic, and it's not going to be peaceful, it's not going to be calm, and it's not going to be clear. So that's the background to this very simple breathing technique, and pretty much to every breathing technique. So if we look at, so how do we get our awareness into, and I can say let's drop our awareness into our heart, but if you're haven't done this very much before, or if you're in stress mode, you might think, well, how am I going to do that, you know? So one way is just to think about your physical heart and to just touch your heart in whatever way feels comfortable for you. I mean, some people do this, some people just do this. And if we think about like religions, like historically religions, most religions do this, okay? So you've got the Christian religions, you've got the Hindus, the prayer pose, this is called in yoga. And what that does is it's touching the hands to the heart. It's bringing the hands together and touching them to the heart. There's also other mudras that are like this, you know, and they're all touching the heart. By touching the heart in whatever way, it actually brings your feeling into the heart and your awareness into the heart. And when we actually do this prayer pose, we're actually bringing our energies together. We're quadrupling our energy field, but we're focusing the attention on our heart. So whatever way feels comfortable for you. I tend to do this. If I'm not in a yoga class, I tend to do this. And just touching my heart brings my awareness to my heart. And so with that, if we begin breathing slowly for the count of 5, pause for a moment, exhale for 5, and just keep this process, breathing in for 5, pausing, breathing out for 5 and pausing, and just keeping our attention on our heart and on our breath. And pretty soon we're going to start to feel the energy in our heart. Now, oftentimes it's really helpful to bring to mind something that makes you smile, something that makes you happy. Now, it could be, so as you're doing this breathing, with your focus on the heart, perhaps like what makes you really joyful is to be somewhere in nature. Or perhaps what's really joyful is to imagine your grandchildren. That really does it for me every time. And or a loved one, or a feeling that you have for your pet, or anything like that. Anything that generates a loving, appreciative feeling, grateful feeling in your heart. So continuing to breathe. And pretty soon you will find that you will start to calm, you will start to feel peaceful. And what this is doing, this practice that you're doing, is actually sending a signal to all throughout your cells, to all the intelligence in your body is sending a signal to all of the cells in your body and saying, you are safe. You are safe. For this moment in time, you are safe. Because normally in everyday life, we wouldn't be breathing like that. So we would be again, if you're home with the kids, you'd be trying to do your work, you'd be trying to homeschool, you'd be trying to keep the kids quiet while you're on a meeting. if you're out, well, you shouldn't be out, but if you're out for essential reasons, like you'd be driving, watching for traffic, so you would be in some kind of stress mode. And we can't feel safe when we're in stress because we have to be alert. We have to be alert and notice what's going on all around us. But when we feel safe, as in this instance with this technique, then we can withdraw our attention from the external stuff which causes us stress and bring all our attention inward and focus on the energy and the peace within our own body, within our own self, and connect to that invisible part of us, that inner wisdom, whatever you would like to call your higher self, your soul, whatever it is that you connect with, that's more than your physicality. And then that allows us to, allows us to feel safe. And what that does is it sets up the restoration. It actually engages the vagus nerve, which is a huge nerve that sort of starts, I think, up here in the brain somewhere. It goes through the eyes and the nose and all the way down the body, and then it branches out to all the other organs. And the vagus nerve is a huge part of our healer, restorer, relaxation part, and also immune system. And so as well, all the other hormones of well-being, like serotonin, dopamines, all of those are then being released into our bodies when we're in this time of feeling safe. So this is a technique that you can do, like I said, I would recommend it for at least 2 or 3 minutes so you can start to get the feeling of it and really feel it in your body. But then you can do it for as long as you like, and you can do this any time of the day. It's good if you establish a routine with it, so you do it at the same time every day, or the same times, like early morning before you go to bed, in the middle of the day. That way you tend to remember. So let's do this together for a few moments, and let's see how we begin to feel. So just in whatever way feels comfortable for you to touch your heart. So closing your eyes and just beginning to breathe. And we're going to breathe in for the count of 5, and I'll talk you through it for a bit. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Let's just do it at our own pace for a moment. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. One more, inhaling, exhaling. You can just relax now, and just when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. And you will find just doing it for that amount of time that a difference is made within you. You feel differently, you feel more calm, you feel more able to cope, and you have taken care of yourself, and you have moved away from fear and panic. You have helped your immune system, you've given that a boost, and you could probably now see your way clear to opportunity. What opportunity could you take from this current situation that we are in? So I didn't speak much about opportunity before, but opportunity, we are in the best times because we have so much at our disposal with our technology. We can learn anything we want to learn in this time. A lot of stuff, there is so much free content that we can learn from. We don't even have to pay for anything if we don't want to. We can entertain ourselves if we don't feel like learning. We can communicate with other people via the technology. So really we are very, very, very fortunate. If we're going to be in these times, this is a really great time to be in it. I just shudder to think 100 years ago how we would cope with the same situation without the technology, without the support. And then the technology allows us to connect with support around us. So if we're alone, and not okay as that is, but there is still great opportunity to connect with others, to even if you're connecting with someone on the other side of the world and listening to a podcast or a masterclass or anything, or just watching anything, you're actually making a connection with that person, not with another human being. And this is what I think. This is what we need as humans. You know, we need the connection with others. So I hope that addressing those 4 points, the opportunity, the resilience, the self-care, and the fear, and how they are linked together, or how they can be linked together, and how I think these are major things going on at this time, or some of the major things. I hope it has been helpful. I hope it has made sense for you. And much love, and ciao for now.